They call him the Filipino Flash, but that nickname barely scratches the surface of the man behind the gloves. With a 2026 net worth of $5 million built from the canvas up, Nonito Donaire doesn't simply fight. He orchestrates finishes. Armed with a left hook that has derailed the careers of undefeated champions, he captured world titles across 4 different weight divisions in 3 separate decades, cementing his place among boxing's greatest warriors. But here's the truth. Most people know the knockouts, few know the man. The bullied young boy who nearly gave up. The devastating defeat that almost ended his legacy. This isn't just the story of a champion's wealth or his highlight reel knockouts. Today, we're drawing back the curtain on the extraordinary life of one of boxing's most respected icons, Nonito Donaire. If you love stories of greatness built through adversity, make sure to like the video, subscribe, and let's get started. Before the accolades and the global fame, the boy who would become the Filipino Flash was a quiet, introverted soul, often overlooked and perpetually lingering in the periphery. Born on November 16, 1982, in the unassuming town of Taliban, Bohol, his early years offered no foreshadowing of the titan he would become. He was raised in General Santos City, a humble landscape that, by sheer cosmic coincidence, would also serve as the proving ground for the legendary Manny Pacquiao. He was slight of frame, soft-spoken, and haunted by the crushing weight of self-doubt. But destiny intervened. At 11, he was relocated to the United States to live with his father in California. To bridge the widening gap between him and his father, he hesitantly entered the boxing gym. Then, the metamorphosis occurred. With every session, he uncovered a dormant, smoldering intensity. He began to mirror the fabled left hook of his idol, Alexis Arguello. Suddenly, the kid mocked for being fragile was leaving veterans unconscious on the canvas. Alongside his brother, he began dismantling the amateur circuit. This wasn't mere talent. It was an all-consuming obsession. By the time he turned professional in 2001, the boy was gone. In his place stood a man whose speed was blinding and whose confidence was absolute. His professional journey was a masterclass in evolution. After his 2001 debut, he clawed his way through the ranks, suffering an early, stinging loss in his second bout that served as fuel for a lifelong vow to never again be the second-best man in the ring. The seismic shift arrived in 2007 when he faced the undefeated, iron-fisted Vic Darchinyan for the IBF and IBO flyweight titles. The betting markets wrote him off, but in the 5th round, Donaire uncorked a left hook so clean and thunderous that Darchinyan collapsed, instantly etching Nonito's name into the annals of history. He didn't stop there. He became a chameleon of the ring, capturing 9 major world titles across 4 different weight divisions. His 2009 to 2010 run saw him capture the interim WBA super flyweight title, but it was 2011 that truly cemented his status when he dismantled Fernando Montiel in 2 rounds to seize the WBC and WBO bantamweight belts. He moved up to super bantamweight in 2012, unifying the division by defeating legends like Toshiaki Nishioka and Jorge Arce. Then came the night the magic seemed to disappear. Against Guillermo Rigondeaux in 2013, Donaire looked human. His 12-year unbeaten streak came crashing down, and suddenly the questions began. Had the Filipino Flash finally slowed down? Was the era over? The loss was surgical, clinical, and brutal. Most fighters never recover from nights like that. They fade into the periphery, ghosts of their former selves. But Nonito Donaire isn't most fighters. He didn't crumble, he evolved. He used that pain to sharpen his focus, to rebuild his style, and to prove that the heart of a champion isn't found in a win streak, but in the ability to rise after being dismantled. By 2014 to 2016, he had pushed into the featherweight and super bantamweight ranks, claiming the WBO super bantamweight title with a grit that defined his prime. But nothing could have prepared the world for his transformation in the World Boxing Super Series. In 2019, he stepped into the ring to face the monster, Naoya Inoue. This wasn't just a fight, it was a collision of eras. Inoue was the terrifying young destroyer, the undefeated prodigy, the man who seemed destined to erase everyone in his path. Donaire was the old lion, the veteran everyone expected to be an easy step for the young star. But the moment the bell rang, the script was torn to shreds. It was a blood-soaked war, a fight-of-the-year candidate that defined an entire generation of boxing. For 12 rounds, they traded shots that would have knocked out any other man on the planet. And then, in one of the most incredible displays of sheer grit in modern history, Donaire landed a strike so ferocious that he fractured Inoue's orbital bone. The monster was bleeding, reeling, and vulnerable for the first time in his career. Donaire didn't just survive. He forced the world to acknowledge that he was still the most dangerous man in the division. Though the decision went to Inoue, Donaire walked out with something far more permanent: the absolute, unwavering respect of the global fight community. While the sport searched for the next superstar, Nonito Donaire quietly reminded everyone why legends never truly grow old. He kept chasing the fire. In 2021, at the age of 38, he knocked out Nordine Abali to reclaim the WBC bantamweight throne, becoming the oldest bantamweight champion in the history of the sport. He had achieved the impossible, holding world championships across 3 separate decades of dominance. He has proven that his legacy is defined not just by the 9 major belts, but by the fact that he never stopped chasing the fire. Beyond the bright lights, the true depth of Nonito Donaire is found in his sanctuary, his family. On August 8, 2008, he married Rachel Donaire. She is a force in her own right, a former Taekwondo champion, model, motivational speaker, and savvy entrepreneur. She manages the Donaire brand, navigating business ventures and providing the strategic emotional grounding he needs. Together, they are raising 2 sons. To his sons, he isn't the Filipino Flash. He's simply dad. Their life is remarkably grounded, prioritizing fitness, family-oriented spaces, and community engagement over hollow extravagance. He maintains a multi-million-dollar estate in California, a modern sanctuary featuring high-end fitness and training facilities. It is a space designed for peace, blending modern luxury with practical, family-oriented design. Across the ocean, his presence remains tied to his roots. He maintains a luxury residence in General Santos City, a nod to the landscape that shaped boxing icons. Donaire's garage is a symphony of speed and prestige. He owns a Ferrari 458 Italia, an aggressive masterpiece that mirrors his high-revving theater in the ring. The low, wide stance, and screaming V8 engine are visual echoes of his own explosive style. His Lamborghini serves as a staple of Italian supercharged intensity, while his Chevrolet Corvette provides a touch of raw, American muscle, often featured in his lifestyle showcases. For family and executive presence, he relies on a Mercedes-Benz G-Wagon, which blends rugged off-road capability with high-end luxury, and a Range Rover autobiography, which balances family comfort with elite status. And for the days when space is non-negotiable, he uses a Cadillac Escalade, a massive, practical fortress that ensures his family travels in total comfort. But there's a reason Nonito Donaire is arguably the most respected figure in boxing. It isn't just the speed or the belts. It is the man himself. In a sport often defined by trash talk, bad blood, and ego, Donaire stands as an anomaly, a gentleman in a savage arena. He is the fighter who will trade heavy shots for 12 rounds and then, the moment the final bell rings, show genuine, brotherly affection to his opponent. He has no controversies, no checkered past, and no enemies. He is a fierce competitor who is willing to fight anyone. Yet he carries himself with a quiet, disarming warmth. Other champions speak of him with reverence. Young fighters look to him as the gold standard of what a professional should be. In an industry that often chews people up and spits them out, Nonito has kept his reputation spotless, a rare, shimmering example of integrity. His reach also spans the ocean. In August 2023, he formally reclaimed his Filipino citizenship, a homecoming of the soul. He has spearheaded relief efforts for typhoon victims, championed youth athletic programs, and become a vocal advocate for mental health awareness. For Nonito, being a husband, a father, and a patriot is the ultimate victory. In a realm where championships change hands like currency, the true weight of a man is calculated by his impact. Nonito Donaire stands as a living testament to the efficacy of the human spirit. He teaches us that legends aren't born in comfort. They are forged in the crucible of adversity. Before you head off, ensure you're not missing out on our premium perks. Click the link in the description to become a channel member. You'll unlock exclusive benefits, like the power to suggest video topics and early access to our new content before anyone else sees it. Your support is the engine that keeps this channel running.